Alabama is lovingly known as the heart of Dixie. We've got Southern charm and take our hospitality to a whole other level.
And did you know we also have an amazing coastline along the Gulf of Mexico? A lot of people are surprised when we tell them that, and honestly, it's the best kept secret if you like sugary sand and warm water beaches.
And the best college football teams in the entire country.
Roll Tide, baby.
But what if we were to tell y'all that there's some pretty valid reasons not to move here?
Yeah, would you believe us?
Well, we live here, so who better to share this than us?
Very true. Let's keep it real and let's give it to them.
It happens all the time. People take a vacation to a beach in Alabama in the middle of winter and decide they're never going back to those brutally cold temps up north, and I don't blame y'all.
Me either. But before you go listing your house, packing up your wife and kids, selling off that old snowblower, we've got to share with y'all some of the things you need to know about the Cotton State.
The Yellowhammer State.
These things might change your mind. And first I have to start with the weather.
Now we know what you're all thinking. The weather, hello, that's the whole reason we want to move down here. We hear almost every single week. I just spent a week in Gulf Shores in the middle of December and it was 70 degrees the entire time. I get it, you're sold and your bags are already packed and you're halfway there.
Yeah, but you might want to pump the brakes, buddy. Our weather down here is not for the faint of heart, specifically the summer heat.
Yeah, our spring and summer is hotter than heck. Summers in Alabama are actually among the hottest in the United States, especially in the deep south where you were most likely vacationing at, and that's actually where we live full-time, Lower Alabama.
Yep. Coastal Alabama has some extreme heat as early as May going all the way to September, and this heat is accompanied by extreme humidity, and not everyone can handle it.
Yeah, we know so many people who refuse to leave the house during our hot months because they say it's hard to breathe in this humidity, or they get heat exhaustion right away. And as our loyal followers know, Tony doesn't have that problem because he's on the golf course every single day.
Whoa, I'm gonna pretend like she didn't just say that and get back to our topic because y'all, you know, Jess is full of shit.
I am not.
As I said earlier, Alabama touches the Gulf, and with that luxury comes the hot, humid, sticky, balmy days pretty much half of the year.
I'd say year-round, but you love it. You're nuts.
I absolutely do, and that's why I live here. But that's the thing. You either love it or hate it. I can't tell you how many times my buddies wouldn't go golf with me on the weekends, emphasize the weekends, because they hate being soaking wet within the 5 minutes that we're out there.
He's not kidding. My family always gives us crap about moving here because it's so hot. They always wait till like December to come visit us. And
that's what pools and beaches are for.
Exactly.
But enough of the beautiful weather. We also get tornadoes and hurricanes and a lot of intense storms with torrential downpours basically year-round.
Well, hurricane season is typically June through November.
And obviously hurricanes are rough on your home. You can expect wind and water damage and power outages if it's on the path to hit, but the past two storms that really did damage were Sandy and Katrina, and as you know, they can come at any time unknowingly, so you have to be prepared.
And be prepared to pay more in homeowners insurance.
And depending on where you're at, it may be a lot more.
Yeah, and Mobile, Alabama is the rainiest place in the U.S., not Seattle, so you can plan to trade in that snowblower for umbrellas because you're gonna need them. This past summer, it rained for 30+ consecutive days. Can you handle that?
Well, a little rain never hurt anybody.
Yeah, but a lot can kill you.
Bottom line, our weather is extreme. It isn't 7 degrees all year round, and during our winter months, we can see some colder days where it gets to 40 degrees.
But the next day can be total opposite and hit 70 degrees. I literally never know how to dress my kids for school. Shorts, jackets, pants. It's freezing in the morning. By lunchtime, it's warmed up outside and the house is hot and I'm turning the AC on. It's a complete juggling act.
I'm baking like a toasted cheese here. It's so hot here.
All right, the next thing we gotta share with y'all is Alabama has irritating insects that can and will drive you crazy. Take, for example, the no-see-ums. These tiny little flying things bite you and they just cause like a non-stop itch that can last for days. There's also your garden variety mosquito, which you can't hide from.
They will find you.
Remember we already mentioned all that rain and humidity? that all leads to stagnant water. So plan on getting bit up pretty much all year round, and you haven't lived until you stepped on a fire ant mound.
The mosquitoes are the worst, and during the summer months, we douse ourselves in bug spray, and it only helps maybe a little bit.
And last month we had a cool night, and I thought it would be safe to, go outdoors and not wear any repellent, and man, was I wrong.
I remember one day I was barely outside for 10 minutes, and it was at like one of our listings, and I counted 16 mosquito bites, and these were giant mosquitoes too. Do you remember? Like, yeah. I've never ever seen them this big.
It's because we were like in the woods, I feel like.
I don't know, they're everywhere. And those fire ants, I will cry right now. Our friend's 1-year-old was playing outside last week, and she got stung literally 20 times. Like, her wrists were covered, her little baby ankles. Like, fire ants are not to be messed around with.
Well, those were bull ants, and all those pests lead to another added expense of living in the South. You'll absolutely want to spray for fire ants and spiders and roaches and termites. And we got termite traps in the ground around the entire perimeter of our home. Our property is treated for fire ants all summer long, and Jess gets the interior and exterior sprayed for those spiders and those tree roaches.
Yeah, they're huge flying cockroaches. It's gross. And no, you'll probably have a roach in your house at some point. No matter how clean it is, they find their way in, and they're just gross.
The good news is, if you're proactive and you keep up with your treatments, you can manage it all, but it can get a little expensive.
Yeah, but it's necessary, so make sure you spray your house or put it in the budget.
So if you're not already bugged out, let's talk about the wildlife down here.
We have some scary animals like gators, cottonmouths, rattlesnakes, copperheads, jellyfish, sharks. Not just a few random ones here or there either. You'll see all of the above and often. So think twice before you go into any body of water, and be careful walking in tall grass, or just don't do it, period. I would never risk it. I would never chance it.
Yeah, you won't catch us walking in or near any tall grass, especially if you slice one on the course. Just go get a new ball. But we'll still keep going fishing and swimming in the Gulf. We just stay where it's kind of shallow enough to see if there's a shark or a jelly close by.
All right, y'all. The next drawback is home prices have risen significantly all around the country in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. Prices have gone up, and that includes Alabama. The state has seen some seriously sharp price increases thanks to our warm climate, outdoor activities, beaches, and so much more that makes it so desirable.
Okay, and that may be a little misleading. It really depends on where you're looking. If you're not on the Gulf or Mobile Bay, you can probably find something within a reasonable budget, but I promise you, we have low property taxes and a cheaper cost of living, so it's definitely worth it. Just don't expect to get a total steal on a home down here. It's a highly desirable area that's growing rapidly. There's still a lot of competition in the market, so home values and prices have gone up from what everyone's used to, but the market here has cooled down a little bit, and it's a little more stable, so the prices that you're seeing are going to be like the new norm.
Next is professional sports teams. If you're a fan of professional football or baseball or basketball, you'll have to attend the games somewhere else, because in Alabama we have college football and college football and college football.
A fond farewell, if that's it, for Bryce Young. What a career at Alabama. What a game again today.
Yeah, bowling isn't really a thing down here either, and we definitely feel that.
So yeah, we're a family of bowlers who moved here from Chicago, which now feels like the bowling capital of the world to us. We can't really find any decent lanes down here to join. It's a huge bummer for us. Not to mention there aren't a lot of lanes to choose from either.
And coming from Chicago, we had the luxury of going to several different stadiums every year and going to them year round to see professional teams play. Now I'm flying to stadiums every fall and winter for pro football games, or we're just crossing the state line for MLB games. But either way, I mean, it's an expense.
Right. Hey, at least we're saving money. I feel like every single time we went to a game, we were easily dropping a couple $100s, and it was often so. And speaking of money, can't forget to mention the lottery. If you enjoy playing the lottery, you can forget about it if you move to Alabama, because Alabama has no lottery. So you'll either have to drive to Tennessee or Georgia or Florida to buy those Powerball tickets.
And I don't mind that at all. We're saving a lot of money now that Jess can't get her little hands on those lottery tickets.
He says that, but we only live 45 minutes away from Florida, so I get my Powerball tickets no problem at all. Florida Bama Lottery, I'm looking at you.
That's $17 we saved today. What do we spend it on?
And I bet you they know just by name there. But next, I'll mention this quickly because I'm not here to debate politics. This is important to people. So Alabama is by far a predominantly conservative Republican state. And the bigger cities such as like Huntsville, Birmingham, Montgomery, even Mobile, they're more liberal, and this can be a reason for you not to move here depending on your belief system. But yeah, most people are Republicans and conservative socially as well as politically. And if you're moving to Alabama, be aware this is not likely to change. With that being said, another thing you should know is Alabama is very gun friendly. Everyone I know carries, so if you're anti-gun, you should definitely reconsider calling Alabama your next home.
And another thing I've got to mention is there's many rural areas located throughout Alabama, whether you live in these areas or you're just passing through. Good luck finding decent cell phone reception. Honestly, we live right by Mobile Bay in Lower Alabama, and my service is the worst. I never ever have a strong signal, and I constantly lose service. So if you're dependent on quality cell service or internet, you may find living here a little bit frustrating. I've bounced around and tried every carrier, and none of them were honestly better than the other.
We've laid a lot of things out for you to consider before deciding to move here, and if you can't handle any of those things we mentioned, this may not be the place for you.
But if you can handle all those things that we talked about, then you'll be able to enjoy everything else that Alabama has to offer, like being able to go to the beach anytime you want, and the weather will most likely be pretty good. There's always plenty of good old Southern hospitality to go around, and let's not forget our amazing Southern cooking like fried catfish.
And don't forget the sweet tea to wash it all down.
The sweeter the better.
Thanks for watching, y'all. Give us a like and subscribe if you liked our top reasons not to move to Alabama.
And call your favorite local realtors when you're ready to make a move to our beautiful state.
See you later.